Hi guys, thank you so much for watching. Today I have another plant care video for you. As always, if you find these videos helpful, please like and subscribe. It lets me know that you want more plant content on my channel. I also have a playlist where I keep all my plant videos in, so I'll link it in the cards above, and I'll also have all the products that I mentioned listed down below. Today's plant care video is on the Monstera plant. The Monstera is extremely common, the normal green one, and I also have the rare variegated one as well. So I'm gonna go through each one. We'll start with the simple green version first, and then I have two variegated ones that I'll go through, and I'll just go through how I care for them, the tips that I've been using. I feel like I'm pretty confident in caring with these plants. I've even brought one back from the verge of death and just brought it back using like the wet stick propagation method. Let's get into the video and go through all the care tips. Thank you so much, guys. And if you have any more care tips, let me know underneath, and also let me know if you like this video, what plant do you want the care to be on next? Thank you. So the first version here is the basic B of all Monsteras. This is just the normal green version. I purchased this less than a year ago, just a 4-inch pot. I'll insert a picture of what it looks like when I first bought it. It was very small. And now, as you can see, it is massive. So it's a juvenile version, so none of the leaves have slits to them yet. There's new growth coming all the time. It's grown all the way through winter and summer and spring for me. So it's been doing really well. So it is now in the 6-inch pot and growing a lot. So the first thing that I would like, I'll just move to the side there. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about with this plant is the soil. Monsteras really don't like to be overwatered. If you overwater it or the soil's horrible and not well draining, you'll have a lot of yellowing leaves and the plant will eventually die. I made that mistake before with my first variegated one. So the soil that I love to use, and I'll link everything underneath, is this ProMix soil. I love this brand. I find there's no fungus gnats and stuff in it, so I really enjoy it. And also I add extra perlite, about 30% extra perlite for extra drainage. I'm not very complicated when it comes to soil. I just get the ProMix and add the perlite. I don't add bark and all that stuff. I'm a chronic overwaterer, so I just like to keep it simple and probably put more perlite than I should even, just because I overwater so much. And with the watering, so this plant is sitting at my south-facing window. I have a coffee table where I keep all the plants that I love, and this one's in the back of it, so it gets bright indirect light all day and then some direct light in the afternoon as well. It seems to really like that. I know that they're tolerant to lower light, but you just won't see as much growth with lower light. And for watering for this plant, this soil is so well draining. I water it when it looks like the soil is super dry, and even when it looks dry, I stick my finger in to make sure it actually is, or use a chopstick to make sure that it's actually totally dry before I water it. And then I water it through. I take it to my bathtub and I wash down the leaves every couple of months whenever they look dusty, just so they can photosynthesize better. And I fertilize as long as I'm seeing growth, which I've seen all year for this one. So I've been fertilizing with 4 different kinds of fertilizers. You don't need them all, but I just will mention them all because I know that they're safe for the plant because I've used them. This Marfil is a marine phytoplankton, which is just like a soil enhancer, something like Super Thrive. It's like vitamins for the soil. The plants love this. Every time I put this in the watering can and water them with it, there's new growth like the next day. And if you have a plant that's stressed out, this really helps as well, just to kind of settle the plant. I've also used just the basic Miracle-Gro fertilizer. I'll link them all underneath. And I've used this one. I've mentioned this before in my videos, this Schultz one. I just don't see much of a like, I don't find it does much. I don't notice much when I use it, so I wouldn't repurchase or recommend this one. This one, it's automatic the next day. This one as well, but make sure you're diluting it properly or it can yellow some of the leaves. And this one I absolutely love too. It's the Alaska fish fertilizer. It smells horrible and looks like sludge, but the plants love it. Every time that I use it, the smell dissipates in probably like a day or two, or if it's the summertime and you open your windows, it could be 24 hours. As soon as the soil grows out, as soon as the soil dries out, it'll dissipate, but the plants just really love it. So I would keep using this. It's so concentrated. You need like this much in your watering can, and that's pretty much it. And I can water all winter long and my plants never get burnt or anything from it. So I love that. Also with propagation, you have to wait till your plant matures so that it has a node. Like I'll show you the node here, right here. If you have a node, your plant is mature enough, you can cut it below the node and just propagate it in water and it'll propagate fine that way. So that's basically the care for my green Monstera. And you'll see by the picture that I showed you when I bought it like 6 months ago or something, it's grown super fast. So I think it's happy in my care. So that is the green version. And then the care for the green and the care for the variegated is the exact same. So all the same tips I use on these ones. This one is a plant that I grew. You can see from the top here. It's just from a stick. I grew it from a stick that was dead and lost all the leaves. I left it in the soil for 6 months and made sure it dried out properly. And then it grew to this little leaf. It had 4 more leaves here, but I cut it below the node for a trade. I'll show you a picture of what it looked like before I cut it. I just cut it like a month ago for a trade. This is kind of my plant that I'm gonna prop and trade, or prop and give to family, because everyone seems to want this plant. It's super hard to get here. So this is just the one that I brought back from the brink of death with the wet stick. But also the mistake that I made with this was, first of all, ordering it online in winter was an extreme shock for it to come to me. And also overwatering was a huge issue, and I learned that really fast. So just make sure that you're letting your Monsteras dry out properly in between waterings, and that you're using a great soil mix with extra perlite. And you'll see that all my plants are in terracotta. It's because I overwater. So terracotta absorbs some of the extra moisture, and you want to make sure your pot has a drainage hole as well. So that is my little science experiment. So this is my little science experiment that actually turned out okay. I'll insert the clip here of what it looked like before I cut it to trade it. And I'm waiting to see where the new growth will stem from that. It's probably still recovering. And then this is my pride and joy. This is my variegated Monstera albo. I purchased it with 1 leaf, and then in transit, as you can see, the white of the leaf died, so I clipped it off, and it's since put out 1, 2, 3 new leaves in my care. This one is the newest one, and it's got a fenestration to it too. It's an absolutely stunning plant. This one's stem is so variegated as well. And it has got a huge aerial root here that I just haven't been touching. I'm just letting it be. But this plant seems super happy, and to get 3 leaves in less than 6 months, I think I'm doing something right. I bought this on my birthday, so like in July. So I don't know if it's been 6 months or not, but close to it. So that's everything for those plants. So yeah, let me know if this video helped you. Comment down below if you have any more tips. I wanted to make this video because I know Monstera is a super well-known plant, and a lot of people want the variegated one as well. And there's not really much difference in the care. The only thing different I do for the variegated one is I just put it on that same table, but full frontal to the sun, so that it gets a lot more direct sun than the green version does because of the variegation. Variegated plants usually need more light. So that's the only thing I do differently, and that's my biggest tips would just be like good soil with perlite, fertilize when you're seeing new growth, and don't overwater them. And then propagate them and share them as you'd like. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care, love you so much. And let me know what plants you want a care tip video on next. Thank you, love you guys, bye.